Guten Abend, meine Damen und Herren. Jetzt werden wir ein kleines Theaterstück für Sie auf die Bühne bringen. Es wird diese sogenannte Arranged Marriage Szenarien ein bisschen darstellen. Aber ich soll jetzt sagen, dass dieser ganze Theaterstück wird auf Englisch gemacht, weil einige von unseren Schauspielern und Schauspielern verstehen Deutsch nicht. Aber ich spreche langsam und deutlich, damit ich hoffe, dass alle hier alles verstehen. Okay, so welcome to the world of Indian marriages. What is an Indian marriage? Or better said, what is an arranged marriage? There are various opinions on what constitutes one. But one thing which is common is that the boy and the girl are most probably not in love with each other before marriage. But it is not as simple as you think. We are going to attempt to show you a few of the scenarios, and we are going to stick to the Indian middle class, and that too scenarios involving educated adults. We'll begin. It all starts in everyday India. There is the guy, right there, say a typical IT engineer, busy with his career. And then there is the girl, also there. Let's say a typical Indo-Western, modern, talented woman of India. And then there are the parents. They are wonderful human beings, very nice people. They really want only the best for the children, and they work very hard their whole lives for the best interests of their family. But among all Indian parents, there is a clock running inside. Once it ticks over a certain point, they change. Now, the once boy and girl are suddenly potential bride and bridegroom. And so starts every arranged marriage scenario. Now for the first scenario. The two parents who saw classified advertisement in the newspaper decide to meet in a neutral location. Well, they are a bit apprehensive initially. Maybe it's a shady restaurant or something, or a mall. Indian parents can get very creative in choosing where to meet up. In case you are wondering what is going on right now, stop! Stop! The mothers are showing pictures of each other's children to each other. You know? The pictures can range anywhere from typically boring, useless pictures to exciting ones from foreign lands where the children have visited. But basically they boast a lot. Now the fathers, this is quite interesting. They are talking money, finance, euros, rupees, whatever. Especially the girl's father, because he has to pay most of the bills, and he would also like to know how much the guy is earning. That said, we will leave them to that conversation. Aha, what's happening now? Oh, looks like they have reached a conclusion. The deal is on, the marriage is going to happen, wow. But in case you are wondering where the bride and groom are, well, this is an only parent scenario, so they are purely optional. But eventually, the people who are actually going to be married has to know. But more often than not, the following happens in modern India. Yes, she said no. Okay, but this case is dying out of modern society. It doesn't happen that often, but it still happens every now and then. Now, let's take a look at our hero, shall we? Our hero is an NRI, non-resident Indian. It means someone who has left his country to build his career abroad. His schedule is a bit tight, so he gets only 3 weeks off from work. He returns to India and he has to do everything, including getting married. He usually gets a couple of weeks only to go through a huge list of girls. Shortlist about 20 to 30 of them and meet all of them. As you can imagine, it is quite a daunting task. One girl after the other comes and they want the NRI badly because he's rich. In fact, it is sometimes overdone. Quite obviously, eventually, this could have its toll on the guy, and sometimes even his dad, who's wearing a garland now. And it is only a matter of time before the inevitable happens.
No!
Yes. But this whole NRI thing is a purely practical solution, and interestingly, it works well. Sometimes it can get a bit stressful, as you saw, but you know what they say, life always finds a way. Now, in India, there is an ancient form of social networking. It is very effective, it is amazingly resilient, and it can cook very well. Yes, before the time of Facebook and Twitter, we had the Indian aunties. Our aunties spot everything. They miss nothing. They also mysteriously know who's of marriageable age in both sexes. Of course, they notice the guys in the neighborhood. They know who works where, how much a guy earns, whether he has his vaccinations in order, everything. Now, once they know some eligible person, they will obviously start exercising their power. The power of recommendation. See how effective they are. See how ruthless they are. Let me go, let me go. That was a close one, man. I should maintain my distance from those people, but if it was so stressful for me, imagine how it is for the girl.
No!
Quite obviously. Anyway, we basically denoted through these two aunties the countless relatives and well-wishers that young couples have in India. They genuinely care for them and they love them to bits. But the way they show their care during these marriage times can be quite stressful. Now, sometimes people have time, they do not decide on their own. Sorry, the parents do not decide on their own, and the relatives do not interfere. In that case, what happens? The boy and the girl actually meet. The society has come that far that they are even allowed to meet at cafes or other public spaces, and not just in their houses. It all usually starts normally, standard stuff. A bit of casual flirting maybe, why not? Some little piece of info here and there, until something unexpected happens. The girl takes out her Fragebogen. The questions get more serious, and more serious, and more harder. The guy is getting more and more uneasy, and he hides behind the chair. The questions cut through his soul. They are designed to extract every piece of info he might be having within 30 minutes, as there are only one meeting after all. This, my friends, is the marriage interview. Well, it usually doesn't get so dramatic, but you get the idea. It gets uncomfortable at times, and not everybody can handle it. But on a serious note, most couples do not have a choice but to really ask serious questions, because they have to make the decision to marry this person. Anyway, life always finds a way. Okay, so we live in the internet age, and we should not leave marriage out of it now, should we? To cut a long story short, there are many websites in India, like the ones for dating here, for marriage. They come in a very good variety. Let's say by regional language, or by the caste system, or by heart sphere people, for example, football fans, you name it, we have it. You know? It's actually a lot. We have websites for everything. Well, it's basically like online shopping. But like any online shopping websites, you have people on display, and you can scroll to the left, and you can scroll to the right. You can sort by height. You can pick them by color. You can sort by hobbies, sort by likes, pick them by dislikes, or even by the mysterious nature of coming in and out of display while wearing this very nice shirt. But no, I'm getting distracted. Let's get back to this. Okay, as with any sale, you have to hurry up. Otherwise, the items will be sold. Oh, I'm sorry, they'll get married. And yeah, now the thing is empty.
No!
Yeah, she said no again, because she doesn't know what to do. Well, this is the most popular way of finding people nowadays. Apart from charging a hefty fee for the service, The website provides premium features and special privileges like astrology, match and everything. It's extremely high-tech. But most often than not, with little patience, the results are quite good. But I see that the girl is quite exhausted by now, so we will not trouble her. Let's see what our guy is doing. Something tells me that he's not having pleasant dreams. He's fast asleep. I wonder what's going on in his head, in his dreams. This is a bit creepy. Oh my god. This is not turning out to be a good dream. Looks like they are actually kidnapping the guy. This does not look good at all for him. And who is this? Oh, looks like he's being forced to marry this woman. Well, at least I hope he'll be happy in the future. After all, it's hard to find a wife nowadays. That was a nightmare. But this kind of thing happens extremely rarely, but it still does happen. The society does not accept such things so easily anymore, and people are slowly standing up for their rights. But let's not get too serious here. This is, after all, a dream. So now what? As they say, life finds a way. Well, our hero and heroine have had enough with this whole drama. But then life has a funny way of turning around. Well, that was a very happy ending, and in all seriousness, arranged marriage have a very high rate of success. Only about 5% of them end in divorces, say some statistics. Well, that's the end of our story, folks, and I hope you liked it, and a little play, and that you could smile a little bit more than yesterday. Thank you.
So, dann würde ich jetzt noch alle gerne hier vorstellen. Als erstes, der die ganze Skit jetzt hier für uns vorgetragen hat, oder der Voice hinter den Kulissen, Arun Maharajan, der Hauptdarsteller unserer Skit, Sriram, die Hauptdarstellerin, Sonja, ein Elternteil, Dippi und Navin, die zweite Elternteil, Vidushi und Arvinden und noch ein unverheirateter Junge, Prasanna. Ich möchte noch eine ganz kleine Geschichte hier erzählen, als wir uns Ideen gesucht haben, was für ein Skit oder Drama wir machen wollen. Ich glaube, ihr kennt hier viele Rakesh, und seine Freundin hat uns diese Idee hier gegeben. Ja, was ist denn eigentlich Arranged Marriage? Ich verstehe das doch nicht. Mach doch mal bitte einen Skit darüber. Die Maria, die sitzt da ganz hinten. Bitte einmal Hallo sagen, das war die Maria. Die hat uns diese ganz tolle Idee gegeben. Dankeschön an alle.